Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Ethan Drew, and we're going to be doing another reaction and analysis today. Today we're going to be reacting to and breaking down Voiceplay's cover of Hellfire by Alan Menken, which is from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Another Disney tune. We all know that Voiceplay is crushing it with the Disney tunes. They have a long history of doing them, and we always know they're taking very good creative liberties in all the work that they do. Now, for those that have not met me before, hey, I'm Ethan Drew. I'm a bass baritone singer. I have a fierce passion for the human voice, music, as well as a cappella music. And what I like to do on this channel is cultivate your love for music through reaction breakdown videos, podcasts with singers, as well as other music of my own in the form of YouTube shorts and other covers that I may be releasing at later dates. Now, if you guys are enjoying the content, make sure you drop a like, comment down below as well, even if it's just a smiley face. It helps with the algorithm, helps get these videos back to you, the audience. And if you are feeling generous enough to subscribe, make sure you hit that bell and notified. That way you're notified every time that I post another video. Also, if you are feeling super generous and you want to support me in a new way, there is a way for you to financially support me in the link down below, in the Patreon link down below in the description. You can support me as little as $1 a month if you choose to be that generous. It is not required to enjoy the video by any means. With that said, we're going to jump right into Voiceplay's cover of Hellfire, and this is going to be really cool, and I'm excited. So I will see you. Oh, I didn't explain how these videos work for the newcomers, if there are any. So the way my reaction breakdown videos work, I have a portion at the very beginning where I listen to with a genuine reaction. Listen to. Listen through with a genuine reaction without stopping, pausing, and commenting as little as I can. And then there'll be a brief pause, and then I'll move into the breakdown section where I will be pausing a lot and talking a lot about the music and the liberties taken within the music. So with that said, we're going to jump right into the first time reaction portion, and I will see you in just a second. Alright folks, so we have arrived at the first time reaction portion of the video. I have not heard this yet, so we are about to jump right into this, and the screen is over here, so this is where I'm going to be looking for the majority of the video. So just a heads up on that, and we're getting ready to hit play, and we'll jump right in and see what Voiceplay has for us, and I'm super excited. Make this full screen. All good. And adjust. And here we go.
Beata Maria, you know I am a righteous man. Of my virtue I am justly proud. Beata Maria, you know I'm so much purer than the common, vulgar, weak, licentious crowd.
Then tell me, Maria,
why I see her dancing there, why her smoldering eyes still scorch my soul. I feel her, I see her,
the sun caught in her raven hair
is blazing in me out of all control. Burn it. Like fire, hellfire, there's fire in my skin. This burning desire is turning me.
Do it, do it. Yes!
It's not my fault,
Nice.
I'm not to blame. It is the gypsy girl, the witch who set the flame. It's not my fault, if in God's plan He made the devil so much stronger than a man.
Protect me, Maria. Don't let this siren
There's
catch
so
a spell.
much happening
Don't let
here,
her
folks.
fire sear my flesh and bone.
Destroy Esmeralda,
And let her taste the fires of hell.
or else let her be mine and mine alone. Minister Frollo the gypsy has escaped.
What?
She's nowhere in the cathedral. I'm afraid she's gone.
But how? Never mind. Get out, you idiot. I'll find her. I'll find her, and I'll find her if I have to burn down all of Paris.
Hellfire, dark fire.
This is
Now, Gypsy, it's your turn.
nice side effect there.
You're tired. Be mine or you will burn.
God have mercy on her. God have mercy on me. But she will be mine, or she
Ooh. Wow. Some seriously powerful vocals there. Ooh. Man. Whoa. Yeah, that was impressive. Yeah, we need to cover this song another day, folks. Man, there was so much variation and so many liberties taken into that I don't even know where to begin when we move into this next section where I break it all down. Fat low notes, high belting, vocal percussion variations, left and right. Like this is gonna be good. Alright, so we are about to move into the breakdown and analysis portion of the video, where I break down some of the nuances going on in the music. And yeah, I will see you over there in just a second. Alright folks, so we have arrived at the breakdown and analysis portion of the video, where I break down what you're hearing in the music to the best of my ability. And just the usual disclaimer before I jump into the music is that I typically do not break down harmonies and the structures of the harmonies due to the amount of time it takes. It typically will send my videos It will typically send my videos over 30 minutes, and I try my best to maintain a less than 30-minute video trend. It works better with audience retention. Now, with that said, we're going to jump right into this promptly, and I'm going to break down everything I can possibly break down for you, let you know what's going on in the music, the creative liberties, etc. And we will jump in promptly.
Beata Maria, you know I am a righteous man. Of my virtue I am justly
I believe we're starting off in the key of B flat here.
proud. Beata Maria, you know I'm so much purer than the common, vulgar, weak, licentious crowd.
So a very nice hushed way to start off the piece here. And that's typically that's how this piece is performed. It's a very hushed piece at first. Like it's one of those wave pieces that I like to call, where it moves like a wave. So it goes up in intensity, then back down.
Beata Maria, you know I'm so much purer than the common
And so those dooms that you're hearing in the background there, that is the human voice's best attempt at what we call a bell tone. Now, for those that don't know, a bell tone is quite literally the sound of a bell. It's this tone of a bell, if you will. The best way that a human voice can attain this sound is through a dum vowel. So the D vowel and followed by an M at the end. Dum, dum. So whenever they're doing the background parts here, it makes it sound like a bell, or the best way you can make a bell sound through the human voice. And it's a way to accentuate shorter notes and faster notes in a cappella music. Best way to do it. A lot of people use this technique to give the effect that a guitar is being played, except with the human voice, obviously, being that this is a cappella. Now, this is obviously not a guitar in this piece, but it's something that's usually used for shorter and or faster background parts, or melodies, if you will.
Maria, you know I'm so much purer than the common, vulgar, weak, licentious crowd.
Then tell me, Maria.
And there was a fat G1 in chest from Jeff there. Excellent job, my friend. Alright, let's see. So we've got a couple of other things to talk about here. Then we'll move on.
I'm so much purer than the common, vulgar, weak, licentious.
So I don't actually know 100% if we're in the key of B flat major. We may have just started in it and we've already went up, or so I'm thinking that we may have started in it and just went up already. But let me know. This is really nice so far.
Crowd.
Then tell me, Maria.
Why I see.
And we have some kick percussion in here. I imagine that somebody was stomping to get this kind of sound effect.
See her dancing there, why her smoldering eyes still scorch my soul. I feel her.
I see. So Jeff was carrying the lead here, and he's actually almost overpronouncing all of his words here. And that's kind of how the original piece goes. So the person that sings it makes it seem like it's a very proper person that's giving in to sin and hellfire because he wants this woman so bad. And so it's like a prim and proper person that pronounces their words very well. So that's singing this. So I can see the passion in what they're doing here by really getting into character. But aside from the characteristic part,
I still scorch my soul.
So that's an A3 from Jeff there, and that's not particularly high for him because he's actually gotten up to a B4, which is tenor, which is literally tenor range. And we all know that Jeff is a darker colored bass. So I mean, he's got a very nice, very, very nice range for a very nice high range for a darker colored bass singer.
I feel her, I see her.
The sun caught in her raven hair
Is blaze.
So, for those that don't know, Voiceplay is what we would call a virtual group where they don't actually tour. So they do their music. I mean, technically, obviously, they're not totally virtual here because they're all together making this video, and they're all together recording most of the time, give or take. But they don't tour and they don't perform live unless it's like Disney events. But as a general rule of thumb, for their actual music, they don't perform live at this point in time. So, with that said, they can take more creative liberties. So that way they don't have to perform live. They can take as many takes as they want to get the best sound that they want, to get the lowest low notes that they want, and the highest high notes that they want. The best sounding percussion, you get the idea. So, with that said, I'm thinking that they've got some double tracking going on here. And what double tracking is essentially taking one voice or one specific sound. Well, not in this sense. So let me back up. So I don't believe this is actually double tracked. I think this is multi-tracked. So when multi-tracked is whenever you take one specific instrument or voice and then you put that same voice in to do another part. So I'm thinking that this is multi-tracked because I hear a really thick bass line in the background while Jeff is doing his lead here. And I mean, the only other person truly capable of singing a bass part in this group of people in this particular cover would be J Nunn. But he does not. We all know that J Nunn does not have a G1 in chest. He has down to a B flat. So I'm thinking that Jeff just laid down another bass line, and he's also doing the lead on this.
In me out of all control. Burn it.
So that was a really dark burn it. So it was a bit of a whisper, but it was a very dark colored whisper, if you will. Burn it.
Of all control. Burn it.
Burn it. So it's almost a growl. It's like one of those. So for those that don't know, the sound that I'm talking about, a growl, sounds like this whenever it's performed. So it's not quite a growl. So it has a little bit of ever so slight amount of grit in there. Golly, guys, I apologize if the screen is super. Yeah, the sun came out and the sun literally just came out. There's clouds all over the place, and the sun just came out, and it's reflecting off of my White House. So give me like 2 seconds, and I'm gonna fix this. Alright guys, I am so sorry about that. I did not know that the sun was going to peek out from the cloud right there, and it messed with the lighting, and the camera could not compensate. So with that said, I was back to talking about the growl whisper that Lane did here. So growling is a popular effect to use in bass singing as well as vocal percussion. And he didn't quite slip into a full-on growl here, but he did use a little bit of the grit that you typically get from a growl. So let me show you what I'm talking about when I say grit.
Of all control. Burn it.
Burn it. So it's got ever so slight bit, a very slight bit of vocal turbulence. And it gives it a little bit more effect, a little bit more intensity. Nice job. A really thick G1 bass note in there from Jeff. Fantastic as always.
Hellfire.
So that's a really... There's a lot of vocal percussion liberties taken in this cover, and I love every single bit of it. But the thing is, like, it works so well to have this many liberties taken because it just gives it that much more of a creative spin and their creative touch on this cover of this song.
There's fire in my skin. It's burning desire. It's turning me.
Ooh, nice subharmonic there. Nice. So make sure you guys go back and listen to the echoed background vocals that the rest of the group is doing. They are fantastic, super tight and punctual. Love it. And let's talk about this subharmonic that Jeff does here. Pretty sure that's an E1. Let me listen to that again just to make it 100% sure. No, that's a D. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Whenever it gets into those really low frequencies and really high frequencies, even people with perfect pitch have a hard... Usually will start to have a little bit of an issue identifying the pitch because, you know, they're just so high or just so low. Now, to perform a subharmonic, in short, what you have to do is for your voice to have two pitches happening at once. The way you do that is you kind of have to use what we call vocal fry and your chest voice at the same time. So whenever a subharmonic happens, you are singing a certain pitch, but there's a place in your voice to where you can actually create a secondary vibration, and that vibration is going to be exactly 1 octave below the note that you're singing. So when you are doing a subharmonic or performing a subharmonic, typically it will sound something like this. And I'm going to attempt to do a subharmonic, but it just depends on how my voice is doing. Voice feels good today, so I'm going to give it a shot. So there's a bit of a fry sub. It's a bit froggy at the moment. I apologize for it sounding so weird. So let me see if I can do a little bit of a higher one to show you what a subharmonic is like. That was a massive fail. I have not had a whole lot of water today, so that could also be messing with my subharmonic ability, but you get the idea. So yeah, I can't do it today, but you get the idea. So you'll be singing a note like this. That's a D3, and the note that you're actually producing that is combined with that note is a D2. So you put both of those notes together, and you have a subharmonic that you're producing from your vocal cords by you're only singing one note, but the vibration of your vocal cords is producing two different notes at once. It's kind of funky, and I might not have explained that perfectly, but that's the general idea of how a subharmonic works. And that's how a lot of bass singers in particular are able to go so low these days, is using subharmonics. Now, the subharmonic that he did here was a D1. A D1 is almost off of a standard piano. So like a C1 it's like only a half step away, and the C1 is usually the last note on a piano, which is extremely low in case you guys haven't noticed. So let's listen to that subharmonic again.
My skin is burning, desire is turning me to.
So the note that he's actually singing here, the top note that he's actually singing for this subharmonic to work, is a D2. So it would be this note here. Na. That note there he's singing, but he's slipping into a D1 subharmonic. So the top of the note is the D2, but the vocal folds are vibrating to create the D1 pitch as well. See, I can't quite do it right now, but you get the idea.
It's not my fault, I'm not to blame. It is the gypsy girl, the witch who set the flame. It's not my fault, if in God's plan He made the devil so much stronger than a man.
This is a crazy time signature, tempo change. There's a lot happening here, and I'll try to break it down for you, but this is very musically complicated. It's one of those, there's an Italian term for this in music where they do a very slow and emphatic slowdown in tempo, and it's intense, slow, and it's very powerful, and that's what they do here. So for those of you that don't know, you'll be meeting Do soon. Do is my little editor. You will see him popping around in the videos every once in a while. He is my editor, and he will be taking care of me from here on out. So, yeah, do me a favor and put that word on screen to show us what a slowdown in music is, what that Italian term is. Anyway, don't give me any sass, dude. That's not nice. Anyway, sorry, he's a new guy and he's already getting sassy. Anyway, moving along swiftly.
Protect me, Maria. Don't let this.
Also a variation in percussion again here. This time it's. So it's a different beat from last time.
Iron cast her spell. Don't let her fire sear my flesh and bone. Destroy Esmeralda.
Ellie has just an amazing tenor voice. I love his tenor voice so much. He has one of my favorite tenor voices on the face of the planet. Just listen to his closure and clarity here. I mean, he goes way up into the 4th octave on a regular basis, and every time he does, I'm just like, buttery smooth. Love it. Listen to Ellie's voice here. So many crazy harmonic things happening here. I would love to break down these chords for you, but I just don't have the time to.
Or else let her be mine and mine alone.
Another change in vocal percussion here. It's like it goes down to halftime here. And that may be what's happening, but I'm not totally sure.
Minister Frollo the Gypsy has escaped.
So I can't quite do those sound effects, but yet another change of vocal percussion.
What?
She's nowhere in the cathedral. I'm afraid she's gone.
But how? Never mind.
Skip.
Get out, you idiot.
Nice.
I'll find her. I'll find her, and I'll find her if I have to burn down all of Paris.
Hellfire, dark fire.
So some of the grit that you heard in Jeff's voice here when he said Paris. So you got to introduce a little bit of grit for some characterization here to give it more effect, emotion, etc. And it is fine to do in metered doses. And what I mean by metered doses is make sure you don't do it too much. Because if you introduce too much turbulence to your voice, then it could be problematic in the future for your vocal health. Now, I mean, obviously in little doses like this, totally safe. I am not a medical doctor, so take what I say with a grain of salt. But as a general rule of thumb, vocal turbulence is fine in small doses, and it will not affect your vocal health in the coming years. Yeah. Anyway. Paris.
Fire, dark fire.
Now, Gypsy, it's...
There is another D1 subharmonic in the background here from Jeff while he's doing the lead. It's very, very thick, and it almost sounds like full chest, but we know that it's not.
your turn.
Choose me, you're tired. Be mine or you will cry.
Ooh, that's a D5 from Ellie there. That's going to be a chest head voice mix, and that is gorgeous. I don't know, that might be full chest here. Let's listen and see. That's hard to tell, but to me, that could be full chest for Ellie there. And it's not usual for a tenor to be able to get to a D5 without a chest head voice mix, because nearly every male voice on the face of the planet will top out at about a C5 without head voice mix or full-on head voice. Now, let me add a bit of a caveat here. There are some male voices that are so good with their chest head voice mix that it sounds like chest, and they can just keep on going into the 5th octave and even into the bottom of the 6th octave, which is nuts. But I digress. This very well could be a straight full chest D5 from Ellie, but Ellie's one of those tenor singers that has an amazing chest head voice mix. So, I mean, it's hard to tell. I don't really hear much air in here, which you would typically get from head voice mix or full head voice. So, it's very likely that this is full head voice. I mean, full chest voice, sorry. We got a bit of a dubstep kind of vocal percussion section here. It's very cool. Go back and listen to some of these echoed vocals in this particular section here. It's phenomenal, the harmonic work and the chords that they're doing here. That was a really long D1 from Jeff there. And let's see where the high voices topped out at. Excuse me squealing there. I believe it was just a D5 where they topped out at, like they've been doing in the rest of the song. That was incredible. There's just no other way to describe it. Voiceplay is always doing incredible work. So let's watch these credits and then we'll move on. Yeah, guys, make sure you check out Voiceplay. If you've not heard them before, make sure you go do that now. They've got amazing work. Guys, if you enjoyed the content today, make sure you drop a like, drop a comment down below, even if it's just a smiley face. It helps with the algorithms. That way you can see my videos more often. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell, make sure you're notified whenever I post another video. It has come to my attention recently that a lot of my viewers actually are not subscribed. And what are you waiting for? We've got so much more content for you to check out. My primary focus is my podcast series as well as my personal music. However, this is the series that seems to garner the most attention, so obviously I'm not going to ignore it. If you guys want it, I will continue doing it. So make sure you guys stick around, and if you are enjoying the content, you're coming back to the channel more than once to watch my videos and you're not subscribed yet, I would love it very much if you would hit the subscribe button. Make sure you're notified whenever I post another video. Guys, this is it for today. I love you. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.